Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2018 horror film Hellraiser Judgment. I was going to say Hellbound. I was like, no, it's not Hellbound. So this is the 10th film? I think it's the 10th film. We had the 11th coming out next month, I think, on Hulu. That's the remake, female Pinhead. So this one... This one is frustrating because it's the movie 7, but thrown into the Hellraiser world. It's literally about a serial killer going about doing, commandment killings, and Pinhead's involved, and the puzzle box is involved, and then there's an auditor involved, which is an interesting concept in the heaven and hell aspect. There's a lot of religion in this compared to other ones. I did like the throwback line of Jesus wept from the very first film to now. But this was bad just because it was so disjointed. I feel like if it was put together better and kept in the same time frame, it would have worked. Maybe like the beginning is just straight up torture porn. I hate watching horror films on the gore aspect, because that's just gore. That's not horror. Horror is messing with a villain or messing with your mind or messing with things, right? Gore is just gore. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing horrible about it. It's just gross. Gore is gross. So to have the first third of the film just be about gore, no. And then the second third was good. It was a matter of finding, these three detectives are on the case, trying to find the serial killer. Third act comes, the main detective is the serial killer the entire time. We guessed that in the beginning to begin with. So there wasn't really a twist of it. But then you have this auditor kind of working with Pinhead in a judgment aspect of, will they be allowed to experience the pains and pleasures within the puzzle box, but they don't actually need the puzzle box to be judged, which is just weird. What's the point of having the whole mantle full of the boxes if you're just going to have the judgment of it, and then Pinhead is the final sayer? But then there's this angel who tells Pinhead and Auditor to just let the main guy go, Sean, the serial killer, goes, because without evil, there'd be no good. There has to be the balance. But he's still going to get judged anyway. But he's still allowed to kill for now, but he's going to be judged later anyway. I don't get it. I don't see the push and pull of that. It was very, very quickly attempted to be explained. Stupid. You have the two adulterers being, Pinhead punished at the end. Fine. Angel forces Pinhead to bring Sean back to the mortal realm. He does. The detective he attempted to kill winds up killing him. The angel and Pinhead have a falling out. He then tears her skin off, and then they face, banishment via God. And they're made mortal, as in Auditor and Pinhead are that now made mortal. And then there's a post-credit scene, which is very interesting, that there's two Mormons in Germany who are, trying to preach the word of God, as Mormons tend to do, knocking door to door, ringing doorbell to doorbell. And the auditor welcomes them in with the song that lures them in to be judged. So, obviously they weren't fully made mortal at some point. We know that they're obviously not fully made mortal to begin with, because at the end of the fourth film, we know that Pinhead dies in the merchant spaceship in the year 2127. We know this. So to keep everything in the timeline, it's got to be logical. So to have Doug Bradley not back as Pinhead, good. I am shocked that Heather Langenfeld was actually a part of this. She played the landlady in a scene or two. She is a horror icon within the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I don't know why she was in this for half a second. Heavy old person makeup, but she deserves the world. She doesn't deserve a straight-to-video horror porn video. It's just, it was bad. Some parts were okay, but bro, this was, I feel like now that we've watched all 10 Hellraiser films, right, where we have the 11th coming out, we'll talk about that. And that's why I kind of wanted to watch these to begin with to prep for this one. But also, like last year, we did the what marathon did we do last spooky season? Did we do the Scream movies? Did we do? No, we did the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street film together. However, 20 something movies of those that we went through. So I wanted to do the Pinhead ones, Hellraiser ones. Next year, potentially Child's Play. After that, potentially Texas Chainsaw. Potentially Halloween with Michael Myers. After that, we haven't talked about him yet. Still, there's a lot of horror franchises to still talk about. I have to watch Creatures, Jeepers Creepers, all horror things we have to talk about. But it's interesting now collectively watching all 10 Hellraiser films back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Back to 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 back. There we go. Okay, 10. Third and fourth were incredible. The fourth is definitely my favorite, hands down. I want to say the eighth is my next favorite. Hellworld, the one with Henry Cavill. That was cool because it's surprising. It was a very good surprise that it's good by itself if he wasn't even in the Hellraiser franchise, but it was a good twist on the Hellraiser bit. Using the box as the lore as a video game. Very interesting in the modern sense for 2005 when that came out. Those are my top two. No, I really like the third though too. I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Useless. Because they were just like horror films that were just written into the Hellraiser property. Like, it's just weird because we know that there's an ending. We know that he dies in the year 2127 on a spaceship built by the Bloodline Merchant. We know this. So it's like all other films are filler films. I'm very curious if this new film is going to be a straight remake. Is it going to be a remake reboot? Is it going to be I don't think it's a sequel. Is it a different timeline? Is the multiverse now a thing? I don't know. I don't know, but we did it. We watched all 10 Pinhead films. We're going to keep up with the horror films throughout spooky season. I mean, we watch horror films all year anyway, but heavy on the horror films. There's a lot of horror shows I have to catch up on Netflix somehow magically between work and such. Sleep is important. Water is the greatest thing you can do for your body as well as sleep. And I am lacking both of those right now. I need a glass of water and I need to sleep. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.